Valley Club, there's a brand new arena meta coming. What should you do to prepare for it right now? We also got some big rewards coming for the 7th anniversary of Marvel Strike Force. What can you expect? And is the Liberty team worth building? Not just for their value in war, but also for some potential Mephisto Diamonds. We're talking about all of these topics and more in this edition of your Marvel Strike Force Weekly News Update. Joining me this week, all the way from the planet Clintar in search of the Necro Sword, is my brother DorkyDad. And if you're ready for all these topics and more, then brother Dorky, let him know what to do.
Let's go smash it.
Oh yeah, welcome back to the ValleyFlyin channel. I am ValleyFlyin. This is DorkyDad, and this is your Marvel Strike Force Weekly News Update. We do this every single week, keeping you updated on everything that has happened and is upcoming in Marvel Strike Force. And if you haven't done so already, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button for even more Marvel Strike Force content, and ring that notification bell so you know as soon as a brand new video goes up. At least 5 Marvel Strike Force videos every single week on this channel. But without further ado, how have you been, brother Dorky? You got some Knull shards this week, 100 more Knull shards. That's something that hasn't happened in Marvel Strike Force for months now. How are you enjoying the game?
Yeah, you know, game's doing a lot better. I think they're making a lot of friendly changes, which is nice. So a lot of way to go, and you know, some changes are nice, but we need game modes to play. So I hope they are working on that with every second that they're supposed to be working. But you know, I'm kind of been picking up War now more, and I'm enjoying playing War with the boys.
Nice. Well, the good thing, no major bugs this week, which is a pleasant change in Marvel Strike Force. But we will get to War because War is continuing at 2 times a week. But one big thing is 7th anniversary is coming up very, very soon. And there should be some celebrations. It always occurs throughout the month of March. At the end of March, we usually get this big gift. And what they say this year, as far as these data mines here from Brother Quickdraw, cheers to amazing 7 years. Earn points for this month-long milestone. So I guess the month-long milestone is going to be revolving around the 7th anniversary, or do you think we're going to get 2 month-long milestones? Because I believe last year we may have gotten 2 milestones, or am I remembering that incorrectly?
No, last year we only had the 1 month long. It had the scope of the original characters. Nobody liked it because it had like Vol shards and Deathpool shards and Capsule shards. We're all like, hey, yeah, we have these characters max for years. What are we doing? So hopefully
that's not for us, Dorky. It's for the new players. But yeah, I think the big thing that they had was this that Deathpool costume and the diamond, which was very valuable at the time in that frame there. What it says coming up this year, though, 7th year token from daily free codes in the following events. So we're going to have 4 events, kind of like we had last year. They're going to be called 7th Celebration Begins, 7th Voyage, Lucky 7th, and 7th Time is Coming, or 7th Time is the Charm. Several milestone events that provide progress towards the 7th anniversary milestone. They're going to have some Falcon Joaquin shards instead of some diamonds for Deathpool, which is good. Fully crafted Crimson skill gear, teal skill gear, and even more. And again, this is what they did last year. This is what their 4 weeks worth of events were last year. 2,192 days of strike, legacy of strike. Well, may you tremble when we stand together. And they gave these costumes and stuff like that. What are your thoughts this year? What kind of events will this 7th celebration, 7th voyage, and so on be for? Obviously, they can't give these same costumes away, or can they? Are they going to give these same costumes away like they did last year?
Yeah, they'll probably give these same costumes away, and then add a couple. they'll add a couple. Maybe did Spider Weaver get one yet, or did Vol get one? Like I imagine it was Deathpool, so next would be who came out first, Spider Weaver or Vol?
Good question. I think it was Weaver, but I may be remembering that wrong. One of the others, maybe Weaver, or maybe Vol getting a costume. That'd be cool.
Those gold costumes. I mean, they're chroma-like changes, right? It's just like gold, but they kind of make them look a little bit sleeker. So I actually like those costumes. I think one of those on Vol would be sick if they could make her playable. If they could use her somewhere, that could be really cool.
She's still good in Dark Dimension. You can still use her in Dark Dimension. That's a good thing. And I don't know. I like these costumes that we got. The Captain Sam costume. I think that's great. The War Machine costume. Yeah. I don't know why they didn't design War Machine like this all these years ago. This looks just how he should. So hopefully we get some of these good things. Continue with these costumes. I do like grinding for costumes. I hope they get some brand new costumes like this, or just give these away or something like that. Now, as far as the big rewards, normally all this stuff, or in the past, it's led to this these big ticket items. some of the things that we've had in the past. Let me go down memory lane for you, Brother Dorky. So 5th anniversary, this is what we got. We got some shards for, what is her name? Captain Carter there. 5th anniversary, we got, or the 4th anniversary, we got some of this stuff. Kestrel shards there. The 3rd anniversary, not a lot. This one was actually pretty disappointing. The 2nd anniversary, it seems like we got some better stuff than the 3rd anniversary. And there was just a calendar for the 1st anniversary. But let me go talk about the big gifts. Let me show you some screenshots of the big gifts that we had in the past. And this is what we got last year, the 6th anniversary. Our first gift, I don't know if you remember, they gave it in 2 parts. I'm not sure if that was intentional or this was so disappointing that like, all right, this is only half. This is only half of it. Yeah, and then there's another part coming. So this is what the first part included. A lot of orbs. And I don't know if you remember what happened last year with all of these orbs that everybody got at once. That open all orb button. It was good. It went away for a few months. It broke the game. The game crashed for the 6th anniversary.
Yeah.
There's some more of the orbs. Then they gave the makeup, which included these T4s, this mega gold orb, more character shards here. There's a bunch of teal gear in here. I don't want to go over all the teal gear, but a lot of stuff here. So with that in mind, seeing what they've done in the past, what do you think is coming for this year, the 7th anniversary? It should be bigger than what they did for the 6th, because the 6th was bigger than what they did for the 5th and so on. So what are you expecting this year for the 7th anniversary, Dorky?
Well, I'm definitely expecting 7 million gold and 700 of the L4 training modules. I think that's kind of baseline what they are going to be doing year to year. As far as character shards go, if they do give us the Scopely originals for new players, I hope they like triple that, right? Like just give those characters away. Besides that, maybe we see some dark diamonds. Maybe we see a bunch of purple ISO crystals and the ions. And then we see some Battleworld currency, because that's kind of where they're putting the newest characters. Like those would be kind of the coolest items they can give us, or diamonds on certain characters. But as soon as they do diamonds on certain characters, if you already had a diamond on that character, you don't feel like you're celebrated. You feel like you're being shafted. So I hope they kind of stay away from that kind of a reward. Just give us resources that we can play with, that we can put on who we want to put them on. I think that'd be really cool. But what I'm really hoping for is that we get fun flash events during the anniversary. That would be the big gift for me. A nice, really cool new tower, kiln, pocket dimension. You know what someone was saying in stream the other day? Yeah. It would be so cool if for the anniversary, they added like 20 more difficulties to all of the scourges and the trials, and they put a new milestone on it. And then you can just push those difficulties as hard as you can and get a bunch of milestone rewards that would have, more topical things than Green Goblin shards and stuff like that. I was like, oh, that'd be really cool, but you drop the tags, obviously.
What about something super simple? What about something super simple, Dorky, that would require them to do like almost zero coding in the game? Just make it so that we could go into all the dark dimensions again and give some big rewards for that. Would that be cool? Because I know some people, it's like, I want to go back into dark dimension. Would that be good enough, or would they be like, oh, that's a lot of grind, I don't know if I want to do that?
No, I mean, that'd be cool, because then we would also get to what if they only did it up to like Dark Dimension 6 or something like that, right? So if you're a veteran player and you have level 100 to 105 characters, you're just like ripping through it, but you're using characters you didn't have before. It's like making it kind of simple, make it a little bit more fun. I think that could be fun, but you know me, I like the challenging stuff. I'd rather be challenged as well as rewarded.
God, I would like to be challenged as well. Yeah, sometimes just going into auto isn't as fun, but I don't know. There's something outside the box. I do like something outside the box like that. Something that they've never done before. Something that the community would want. And obviously, some of these rewards are good. These original characters, those are required for the game. And that's good catch-up mechanics, but there should be something for longer time players as well. I know this 6 million gold, even last year, people were like, that should have been 66 million. Do you think there should be 77 million this year just because of all the increases in economies? We got a new level cap now and things cost a lot more.
So let's put it into perspective. Yeah. Leveling a character from brand new, I just did this to Patriot, from brand new to what was 104, I guess we had 2 million to it, cost around, I think it was 45 million gold. Okay. So if they gave 70 million gold away, we are getting 77. Okay. Yeah. Extra 7. You're getting like a character in 3/4 leveled. That would be a gift that people would really be excited for. But also, let's be real, this is going to come at the end of March. This is when we're going to be finding out more about the Professor X unlock. I assume Gear Tier 20 will be going into the gold store at that time. So people would just blow through 77 million like that anyway. So I don't think there's an issue in giving 77 million. I think that's a great idea.
I think they should. Scopely, up it. Come on, the inflation, up everything for inflation. Inflation's went up all this stuff, up your training mats, up all this stuff. The dark promos, the dark diamonds, all that stuff. Just give it out.
Give me more.
They are giving out something though, sort of. If you bought something, some diamonds for Mephisto, but you would have had to buy a character. You could get all these milestones, milestone 10 for free, but to get the milestone 11, which has this extra 400 Mephisto Diamond orb fragments, which gets you your first diamond, you need to have at least one of those new Liberty characters at 5 stars. So what do you think of this event? It rewards players that spend, kind of punishes people that don't spend. Do you think this should have at least given one orb just for grinding for everybody?
So you're guaranteed at least one diamond on Mephisto from these orbs. Here's what I'm gonna say, and I got ripped apart in the comment section for a video I did yesterday on this. If you have Peggy Carter at 5 yellow stars, you're not gonna hit milestone 11. You're gonna hit milestone 12. You're actually gonna be able to open up 2 of those orbs.
Yes.
I went back and I looked at the amount of Peggy Carter shards that we've gotten if you were in an active alliance and if you did the event. So we had an event last week that you can get between 30 and 60. We lowball it to the 30. Okay. We had 3 alliance events that had 25 apiece. So already we're at 105 shards. Out of the 310, you need to get her to 5-star. We also got 25 Peggy Carter shards from the War Machine costume. So that puts us at 130 out of 310 already. There are 12, count them, 12 Agent Peggy Carter shards in the free-to-play track of the Strike Pass or Battle Pass, whichever one currently has the Liberty characters. That is going to give you between 72 and I think it was, so that'd be the lowest shard. That'd be if you got 6 shards every single one. And I think it was 108 if you got 8 shards or 9 shards, which is the average. Looking at needing about 84 shards from the pity orbs of Peggy Carter that we have gotten since her release, which we've gotten a lot of those. Yes. Those pity shards, those pity orbs also lead to more 675 cores. When all is said and done, if you care enough about a Mephisto and you are in an engaged alliance, you got all the shards Peggy Carter from those alliance events, you hit the solo event from last week, you probably have to core with like average luck. So if you didn't just get wrecked by RNG on your pity orbs that we've gotten, probably 4 core orbs for Peggy Carter to get her to 5-star. I understand people are saving for Starjammers. I was too until my impulse control took over. I actually think that this event is giving you a choice to get a diamond on Mephisto, which at the speed at which they add characters to the Dark Diamond store, I think it's worth taking advantage of.
Well, do not do what I did, Valley Club, because I was like, oh yeah, I'll build up some Liberty. I'm almost got Falcon unlocked, Falcon Joaquin unlocked. It's not the unlock, and right after I did, I'm like, wait, it's only 3-star. I need at least 5 stars. So don't do what I did. Don't just go unlocking these characters. They need to be at 5 stars. If you did get those $5 Peggy Carter shards, the screw up that they did during the release, you got at least 1 diamond for Mephisto. This is really, really good. If not, I'm not sure what the solution is. This does separate spenders and non-spenders, but I think, like you said, if you are very, very close, I do think it is worth spending some cores for that diamond for Mephisto. Not necessarily for Peggy Carter to the Liberty team, but for Mephisto, I think it is worth it.
Yeah, you don't have to build her up, right? Like, you just have to go in there and lose with a 5 yellow star Peggy Carter and the reworks, and then you have it. You
could even do on defense, because this is play. How I understand, it doesn't work on defense. Okay,
doesn't work on defense. No.
Okay, never mind that. They need to fix their wording, because they said okay. But yeah, I think this is good. The orb itself, I think, is a good thing as well. What did you pull? I heard you pulled a few of these orbs.
Yes, I pulled 4 on stream today. I already had a 2-diamond Mephisto. There was a leaderboard for him. It was the spend gold leaderboard right before the level cap increase. I dropped 600 million gold during that leaderboard event and walked away with a 2-diamond Mephisto. And then when I opened up these orbs, I still walked away with a 2-diamond Mephisto.
Hey, but you got all the benefit that spending of that gold got you, some character levels and probably other things.
Well, there was no level cap at that time. So, stupid confession time. There was an orb that had Man-Thing shards in it. For I think it was 200,000 gold. I brought Man-Thing from unlocked to 7-star for 600 million gold. Worst mistake ever. I have no gold right now.
Well, hey, we're just confessing all the stupid things we did in Marvel Strike Force this morning.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, so those are some mistakes that you could have made. Don't do those. All right, let's move on. Yeah, this is a pretty good. This is a pretty good event. In my opinion, they could have made it a little bit easier for free-to-play players, but I think you still are able to get this as a free-to-play player now that you explain the math. All right, let's talk about the Liberty team. They are in the game. I like this Captain Sam costume. I like the War Machine costume, as we talked about, but is there more to this Liberty team than just War and these events for maybe Mephisto and maybe some pocket dimensions and some temporal dimensions, things like that coming up? Is there more to them than just War? Because in War, they seem pretty good. My playtesting, they beat everything except for Infestation. I don't know if that's your experience on the playtest as well, but they seem pretty good. What is your experience with this team? Where does their value lie?
Yeah, in War, they're pretty darn good for sure. I brought them into Dark Dimension 8 today. I had 3-star Falcon and 3-star Patriot, all geared to 19, all level 104. It performed better than I thought, but nowhere better than like the old Extreme team or the Illuminati, Captain Britain, Nightcrawler team. So we still have like the old Global Hero team is still the best team. Though if you wanted to do these guys, I guess they could work in that capacity. It probably wouldn't be very fun. As far as like events that are going to happen during this anniversary month, I could really see them trying to shovel this team down our throats.
100% Dorky, 100%.
Yeah, which is unfortunate because I assume that the anniversary month-long stuff is going to have really nice rewards in it. And this team does not work in Crucible. This team is great in War, but I think you're still going to be pulling this team apart in War. I think, Patriot, he doesn't really do much until he is like at least equal build with War Machine.
Okay.
And Falcon is such an interesting character on his passive that he almost works like Zombie Scarlet Witch on his passive, where you could just bring him in as a solo play character to stop, I think it stops speed bar before he takes a turn.
Okay.
So he's got like a really interesting solo kit. Yeah, in War, enemies cannot fill speed bar for themselves or allies until he takes a turn. So lots of interesting stuff from Falcon as a plug and play character, but I don't know. I'm not feeling the hype on this team. I had 10,000 cores. I spent them all on this team because I have 0 impulse control. I was trying to save up for Starjammers because I'm much more interested in Starjammers.
Starjammers seem way more interesting than this team. I use cores that I shouldn't have on this character also. So. All right, some mistakes. What about Patriot? I haven't used Patriot except on the test server. We're pretty much equal across the board with the rest of the Liberty team. What was your experience in Patriot? Does he have any value outside of this Liberty team at all, outside of War at all, or is he just Liberty War member?
Look, he looks an awful lot like US Agent, and that's because he's going to be good in his mode, and that's about it. And his kid is pretty boring outside of his mode on his team.
Agreed. All right, and the big thing here, I guess it's not a big thing, but War staying at 2 times a week. In a previous vlog, they said War will be going to 2 weeks for a minimum of 2 weeks. Wanted to inform you, keeping War 2 times a week for another 2 weeks will continue to upgrade War. So for me, I think this is great. I don't like War, but as you said earlier, you're more interested in War. You're liking War a lot more. What does this mean for you and your alliance now that it's going to stay at 2 times per week?
Well, I don't think it means anything reward-wise because they're giving us that new orb every time you finish a war that has gold and training materials in it. I'm not sure if that's because of this or whatever the reason is, but the rewards seem to be pretty steady. I guess Purple ISO took a hit. Gameplay-wise, got a lot of people getting lazy, losing against Extreme. What are we doing, boys? We're getting rusty on only 2 hours a week. I like to play the game. I also don't love playing the weekend, so like I'm such a two-face player. Like on one weekend, I'm really gonna want to do that War. On the next weekend, I'd be like, I really wish there was no War. Yeah. So kind of all over the place, but I'm indifferent some days, mad about it other days. I don't know. It's weird.
All right. So yes, I guess it's more of a difference as far as your gameplay. If you do like War, you don't have that gameplay. Rewards, I guess it's kind of a wash as far as that. But let me know down in the comments, Valley Club. Do you guys like 2 times a week Wars, or would you rather it return to 3 times a week? You guys know my opinions, but let me know your opinions down in the comments. We got Captain Britain coming back. Illuminati Showcase event is coming back. The orb looks really, really good in store. Guaranteed drop rate for Captain Britain of 1 shard. I think you get a 100 shard potential for that. But you could earn Captain Britain shards with Illuminati team. Chapter now requires Illuminati. Recommended add your team members 5 yellow stars, gear tier 14. What are you expecting from this? I think previously you're only able to go into a few nodes and challenge a few nodes based on stars, your Illuminati. So not too many fragments of that orb that you're able to get. What are you predicting this time? But it's not live in the game yet. We don't have a full preview of it in the game yet. We got a partial preview in the game, so can't really see what's going on with it. But what do you think is going to go on with this as far as the amount of shards of the orb that you could earn, and how many orbs are we about to get throughout the life of this event as it lasts?
Well, I can only talk about the first time they reran the Illuminati Showcase, and that was
because I don't remember that. So explain that.
It was really bad. It was really bad. So whatever orb you're talking about, that didn't exist, or at least I don't think it existed. I'd love to see it. Yeah. Instead, there was Captain Britain. Okay. Instead, there was Captain Britain shards on the nodes with an abysmal drop rate. And you had to like core not just for energy, but also the node itself. Like it was trash. And instead of like getting any meaningful amount of Captain Britain shards from the event, we ended up getting the turkey store, which is where people started getting a little bit more.
It's coming back. The bad memories are coming back. I think I tried to block it out of my mind, but yeah, I think I got like 5 Captain Britain shards throughout the whole event, spending a bunch of cores, things like that. So if you are able to get this orb, hopefully you could get a bunch of them. It does have a minimum drop of 1, so you might just get 1 shard, but it does have a max of 100. And if we look at this, it is definitely some Captain Britain shards here, also some Black Panther Shuri and Hank Pym shards. So pretty good orb. 45% chance to get 1 and a 1% chance to get 100. So I guess a lot of it's going to be dependent on how many of these orb fragments we're going to get. Predictions. Yeah, sure. How many orbs do you think you're going to open on this? Or if you were just someone not spending cores, just going through this normally, how many cores do you think you can get based on what you know about what they did previously on this Captain Britain event?
Wow, what they did previously would be like 3, but I think we'll probably get between 10 and 15. Because he's older now.
I would love that.
Yeah, he's an older character now. Like, you got to cut the cord on these epics because Captain Britain already got absolutely wrecked by the introduction of Phoenix Force. Starjammers are the next team that's going to come and be wrecking Illuminati if they're not with Odin, and maybe even if they are with Odin. We've found out that like Black Knight can beat up the Illuminati to this like insane degree. So I don't care that he's epic character anymore. Like Scopely, you gotta let these characters go. You gotta let them breathe. Even Scarlet Witch, I'm worried that by the time we get a second run of her, like who's gonna care? I mean, I
already don't care about Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, you see what I mean? Like we have to care about these characters, and if all of a sudden the epic tag just means gone, like it's just not good. Just not good.
Buy or you're screwed. Yes, this is a different character than the zombies, though. I think they should. Yeah, I think that would be good. 10 to 20 orbs of this throughout the event for free to play, no core spending. That would be awesome.
Yeah, this should be.
All right, so hopefully that's how it is. Let me know your predictions for this event. I guess there's not too much time. It is, as of us recording this, 3 hours from now, so it actually may be live as you're watching this video. But Old Man Logan is still in the game right now, and it seems like it got a little bit easier. One big thing that I noticed here on Mission 4, now I did have to go in with the Spider Society, but what some people did, instead of Shang-Chi in this spot, Nick Fury. So Captain Sam, Nick Fury, Ronan, Mockingbird, and Kestrel. That was supposed to be the sacrifice team. I'm hearing some people one-shotted that. Even if you look at my invaders, I wasn't expecting to do anything. They did 4.12 million damage. So easier. What is your experience on this? Obviously, you probably just got all these milestones and then went away. And I would recommend doing all these milestones, even if you have Old Man Logan locked, because there's Crimson Gear here. So everybody should do this. But what was your experience in this? And the next note as well with Super Skrull. I think I just basic with Super Skrull. Didn't even need this one here. Basic all the time. So a lot easier. Guess you don't need Super Scroll. You don't need the Spider Society if you want to get that high level Old Man Logan unlock. So what did you do with this, and did you find it a lot easier?
Yeah, I found it a lot easier. I beat the first node with like, God, it was Moondragon, Ancient One, Black Knight, the new Captain Sam, and I forget who the fifth was. And I walked over the node, and on the second node, then I used Spider Society. The thing about it is the characters I just mentioned, they're no more important, especially Captain Sam America. They're no more important than Spider Society, who you have to build for your raids anyway. So if you want to make this super easy for you, remember, guys, the stat jumps in levels is 20% for 5 levels after we hit the break point of level 90. So if you go from level 100 to 103 on your Spider Society team, you're adding about 12% to their health, their damage, and their armor, which makes it just so much easier.
Let me go off topic a little bit. At this point, would you still build Spider Society past level 100? I know they're great for Dark Dimension 7. They're great in Dark Dimension 8. They're great in the raids. After that, would you continue building them for the level 105 milestones? They do have double tags, so you're going to be able to spend less gold stuff on the race 105 milestones. But I don't think I would continue to build them at this point. After Dark Dimension 8, I think that's all you need for the Spider Society. And then you shift onto other teams. But for those 105 milestones, it may be worth building. So would you continue to build at this point for Spider Society?
Well, I hear where you're going. At the end of the day, whenever the next raid comes out, Orcus 2 or whatever they'll call the next raid tier, like Spider Society is not making. And
they might though. They might. Let me just say, Extreme is going to be gone. Hive Mind's going to be gone. Spider Society might still be there.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to phase Spider Society out, but I can't imagine, because Orcus has been around for so long, I can't imagine they let the spiders with those old stats stay. But hey, sometimes they can't counter their own teams, especially the Spider Society is so chocked heavy with buffs.
True.
But as far as like other modes go, I really like investing in Pav, because he's a character that starts with speed up on spawn. He's got a pretty fast innate speed stat, and he puts slows out and he puts vulnerables out on spawn too. So he's got a super interesting kit, and he carries so much of the damage. I think Pav is still worth it. Yeah, I
think we're aligned on that, because if you look at my Spider Society, the only character that I've built is Pav, because the rest of them, I'm leaving Penny, I'm leaving Peter B there. Pav, I'm going to take it to 105 because he does have some value on hybrid teams there. So I agree with that. But the rest of them, I'm not building up.
Right on. Yeah, I think that's probably the right call.
Okay. All right, so we're in agreement. Just wanted to check if we agree. I know you do a lot more research than I did, but let's talk about these raid milestones that's going on right now.
Yeah.
I like that they're giving Lilandra away. I don't like that they're basing on 10 raid battles, because I don't know what your alliance are doing, but I'm going in to the Spotlight 2 raids. I'm losing on purpose because there's not enough nodes there for me to do 4 attacks, and then everybody else in the alliance to do 4 attacks. So I'm going in there auto losing, and then I'm doing my Orcus raids. But what do you think of this event, the good and the bad? What are your thoughts on this Lilandra release event?
Well, right away, I really don't like that they just they have a random event end time for this. 15 minutes. Why? If that's 1 p.m. Eastern for me, events are supposed to end at 4 p.m.
I didn't even notice that. What is that?
What do they do? Because we have some guys in different time zones that they'll sleep when the raids start. They might be waking up. Maybe they want to have a coffee and they have to go to work. Like, why isn't it not just 24 hours like every other event? What is going on?
Because the rest of your alliance is done with the raids at this point, and if you're late, then you're screwed.
I guess. Well, what we did is we had all of our guys. We told them like, hey, we are going to be saving the last boss on the Spotlight raid. So no one is clearing the last boss at 5 p.m. Eastern. We have 3 people assigned to go in there and clean it up, and that's their job. And so far, I haven't heard anybody missing it. But it's kind of an event that is adding layers of complexity to your daily play, and I think that's dumb.
I think any event that you go in and lose on purpose to maximize the event is stupid. Yeah. They should reward you playing effectively and not reward you for inefficient play. And I think events like this are stupid. I do like that they're giving it away for free, and it's based on grinding and gameplay. There's just some of the structure of this event, how it's designed, the calculations that they're using, the inputs. It seems dumb.
Why not just have 5 raid fights? Like, what? Why arbitrarily make it 10 raid fights? Just do 5. Just something so easy. Make it 1 raid fight. Just make it stupid easy, you know?
I mean, six is super easy too, because that's, you know, six is it's still kind of a weird number, but you know, or even eight, because you're getting 8 of the energy. No, I think you're getting 6 in the Orcus and 8 in the, anyway, 6. They could have made it a lot easier, so you don't have to lose. Just don't design events that you're forced to lose and stuff like that. Inefficient gameplay shouldn't be rewarded with that. But let's talk about the event that's going on right now. It's been a long time since we got such an easy event calculation. If we look at this, I'm already done with the ISO 8. I don't have to keep spending coring over and over. I did my coring in the beginning. Now it's done. This 80,000 limit of spending ISO 8 and then is great for the event. And if you want to still get this Justice Orb, you can still grind and spend for those nodes if you like the Justice Orb. And I do think the Justice Orb is a good orb. But the rest of these, if you've met it, you're done already. If you didn't meet it, it's it. You know the points you're getting. And what I also like is the big changes that they made to these web milestones here. No points for the main milestone event, which means that if you don't want to spend the Liberty energy, you're missing out on some of this stuff, these Medals of Honor, and then maybe some gold promotion credits, which don't really mean anything now, or the silver promotion credits. How long have you been waiting for them to switch these web milestones? I think it's January, the beginning of January, they started, you got to spend that showcase energy, whereas previous it was spending whatever currency is in the store that they had.
Yeah.
How long were you waiting for them to switch this?
Yeah, I don't like being forced to core showcases. I'm not holding my breath to celebrate it just yet, though. I want to make sure that missing those medals doesn't make us miss the final monthly meta item. Because right now I'm on the second last milestone. I still need the last one. It's the World War Olympus. So,
I'm not even there yet. Yeah, I'm not even there yet.
So if we don't get that milestone 40, it would be the second time for the monthly meta that I just didn't get it. And I hit all the markers and everything. So it's just those web milestones that held me back on the Medusa one. I was like, okay, what the heck is going on over here, right? Like, that better not be the case.
Was it last month that they did that weird ISO 8 spending event that nobody... So so February was fine, but if you don't hit these milestones for the web, you might not get all this stuff. So that could be...
That's the concern.
That's not good. All right, Scopely, address both of these things. Design your event so you don't have to lose on purpose, and make sure that we don't have to core some stupid, useless energy that I don't want to core for this. But yeah. All right, hopefully they go back and design the events a lot better. But I did want to go to this orbit, this Justice Orb.
So good.
All right.
So good.
I've already reached the 80,000 limit for spending ISO 8 energy, but I'm thinking I'm keep coring for this because the shards of the characters in here, pretty much unfarmable. I mean, these characters are in the Battleworld store right now, talking Emma Frost and Ancient One. The rest of these characters are unfarmable. I guess sort of the Absolute A-Force is after Astral, so they're not even in the Battleworld store yet. So I love this orb. And then training modules in gold. So I think I'm going to continue to do the 50s for ISO 8. What are you going to do? Are you going to continue to core your ISO 8 energy just for some Justice Orb fragments here?
100%. From this orb, I've gotten 75 Medusa shards. I've gotten 25 Emma Frost X-Men, which I don't ever maxed. I pulled Kalori, who's one of the only characters in there I do have maxed twice. But even then, it didn't feel bad. Because look at the max. So the 60% drop is 25 shards. The 40% drop is 12 shards.
Oh, so you got the good ones in your favor.
Exactly. This is like the first time I've ever been like, oh, this orb. I'm excited that this event was coming because of this orb. And I'll be excited the next time I see an event. And hopefully they'll continue this sort of generosity with the shards. Because this is great. Because like you said, the 2 Astro, they're in the Battleworld store. But now I can just save my Battleworld currency until after this event and see if I just get Emma Frost that way. And then the Absolute A-Force girls, they're in the Ultimate store right now, but they didn't get put into the Battleworld store for whatever reason. So it's helping me get them bigger.
Right, I think these guys are in the Absolute A-Force in the Battleworld store now?
No, the Ultimate store.
Oh, yeah.
Bumps. They were putting the bumps. Yeah, yes. Not Kahori.
I was gonna say you probably shouldn't be buying the Ancient One and Emma Frost in the Battleworld store right now because you know that Kahori Miss Marvel Classic. and Medusa is going there. And I think they said one is going to the Blitz store and one is going to Spotlight Raid Orb. So they're going to be easy to farm after they go out of the Battleworld store. It's kind of my point there. So yeah. This is a good orb. I'm gonna do the 50s, and I don't know, based on what you said, I may be doing the 100s as well, because I think this is the best orb that we've ever gotten for an event. Every single one of these characters, very, very hard to farm. And I did not notice this. The 60% is a good one, the 40% is the bad one. So yeah, this might be the best orb that we've gotten in a long, long time, if not ever. Yeah,
this is a great orb.
All right. I'm glad you pointed that out to me as well, but let's talk about Battleworld. We had the return of Battleworld. There's no event right now, but what was your thoughts on Battleworld? We got the first day, I thought it was pretty easy, but second day, I actually had to play some manual, and the third day, some manual battles as well. The Astral team pretty much auto, but the other two battles got a little tough on the day 2 and day 3. Did you like that challenge? Did you like that you had to play it manually? Or maybe your roster's so big that you didn't need to play it manually, but I need to play it manually.
I had to play it manually. There was some moments like when Gore takes his first turn on the Herald mode, like he can just one go, right? So that's kind of a fun moment to make sure you can recover from. I thought they did a really good job, because last Battleworld, we had like Hawkeyes, Black Widows, Captain Americas, and OG Hulks on a node, right? We had year 1 characters with no increase in it was so boring. This time we saw Hercules, we saw Jean Greys, we saw Annihilators, Orcus, like we saw everything. We saw Mephisto. I thought that they did a really good job making the nodes more interesting. It's so much better than what it was gameplay wise for the zones, not for Null. I'm not gonna justify the Null changes.
We'll get to Null in a little bit. But the zones, the zones were good.
The zones are pretty good, and I think now, because it is still just our regular, I'll call it our 9 to 5 gameplay, right? It's like team deathmatch. My team against yours. I beat you. I drop your waves to 0 enemies, and I win. It's very boring.
Yeah,
I'm hoping that we start seeing some more interesting gameplay mechanics. I hope they can make the waves, make so many more waves that we don't actually beat it, and that we all kind of get varying scores instead of the goal being just clear or you fail. I kind of like the idea of it being merit based. And then
an endless mode for one of those special missions. That I would like that.
Yeah. And then the vampire node shows creativity, but it didn't work at all. So the vampire mode, where it's like, hey, there's going to be vampire minions. Every vampire minion you take out is going to increase your points. Only 5 of them spawn. So first of all, take away that 5. So it's, again, endless. Make the vampires scale for every new one that comes out. And then I think we have a new fun gameplay scoring mechanism to lean into. And I think that's the sort of changes Battleworld needs, especially if it's going to be a monthly thing instead of a weekly thing, to drum up interest and make it a fun event as opposed to just like, okay, it's my Battleworld chores. I got to get done for the month to get my Null shards, and away we go. And though I hated Spec Ops, and I'm glad it's gone, something that like taxes your roster more, I think is still a cool concept. So although I was really glad it's gone, I hope that we see something in that vein, but maybe definitely not an alliance-wide thing.
Well, the problem with Spec Ops, it did nothing except give you more victory points. So you're sacrificing a roster for a few more victory points, which if you were able to clear Null, you're getting the same amount of Null shards anyway. And then just like ranking rewards, you're competing for that. I don't know if that was worth it for Spec Ops. So maybe make the Null fight significantly harder, and then give you bonuses for the amount of characters you place on Spec Ops. So if you place more on Spec Ops, the Null boss fight gets easier because you're sacrificing your roster. You should get something for that sacrifice, not just victory points. But there's something here. They need to keep tweaking this. There is something here, though, and there's a lot of fun that can be had if they keep tweaking it. But let's get to that Null boss fight.
Well, do we have to?
I don't know what it's like, because what I did was I threw my Astral in there, put it on auto. Our alliance already beat Null for a few times, so it didn't really matter. Then I threw a few other teams in and threw it on auto. So that was my experience with the Null boss fight. I don't know if you had a better experience, a more detailed experience that you could talk a little bit more about, but that
let
was
me stop you, Valley. You got the full Null experience in your play last week, buddy. That's the full Null experience as he's written. It's just so bad. Like the bleed team, I get it was a bug, but at least it was something to do. It was like, oh, like I can stack up bleeds, extend bleeds. Okay, there's again a mechanic I can lean into. Go figure. Players like creativity. It was so bad.
I mean, the good thing is if there's an alliance that they're on the verge of getting the null kill for the first time, they get those shards, because that's a good thing. But outside of that, make it super freaking hard. Make it super hard. Make it super hard. Making me want to place characters on Spec Ops to make that null boss fight easier. There's a lot they could do with that. So hopefully they go into that. And like you said, that mechanic, it was a bug, but I know there were some people, it wasn't me, but I know there's some people like, oh, I want to get the max score for null.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what the max score for null is, as long as everybody gets those null shards. Competing on that leaderboard doesn't matter. So
there's no leaderboard. There's no leaderboard. There's no leaderboard completed.
So leave the bug in there. Leave the bug in there, and then people could be playing for bragging rights with their alliance mates or something. Yeah, there's no reason to take that bug out, unless you're going to make that no boss fight super hard, which they didn't do this time. So there's a lot of room for improvement. I'd like that they did make some improvements. There's a lot more they could do, though.
Yeah, I agree. It's got really good potential. I don't think this is like potential. RTA where you scrap it. Like they're not going to change. Like, let's be real about this. They're not going to change the Null Battleworld version that we currently have. But hopefully we only get 4 more months of this. Null becomes farmable somewhere else. Who the hell cares? And then we get like an Onslaught Battleworld where we see all these cool changes by summer. Like that's what I would hope for Battleworld. Like, hey, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. The Battleworld mode is good, but empty the bathwater, okay? Like the Null Battleworld, just let it go. It's done.
I'm going to go even further. I think they got a month to fix this fight, man. They got a month to change up Null. Let's not say the next 2-3 months are like, screw it. Let's try to make next month good. Fix the Null boss fight. What can you do to make that mechanic a lot better? What can you do to introduce more things? Because they said Spec Ops probably not going away. What is the big things that they need to do to make it more fun, in your opinion?
Get rid of the barrier and get rid of the damage cap. They said the damage cap was 3% of Null max life, which is 25 million damage. But the most damage you could do in any hit was 2 million. So it was bugged. I don't know if anyone brought that up, but the fight was bugged. You could not do 3% of Null's max life in any given hit, because the max health, or 3%, is 25 mil, and that was not happening. So I think you get rid of the barrier, because then that opens up a bunch of other teams instead of having to hit into 10 million barrier all the time. And you get rid of the damage cap, and then we see what happens. But for the next boss, for the love of God, you got to let players do some sort of control effects. Speed is the name of this game. If Null stops, your turn meter rewinds. He gets speed bar when you hit him, and he's getting speed stat every single time. It just becomes unfun, unplayable. Get rid of the damage cap. Get rid of barrier. Don't be so heavy-handed with speed in the next one.
All right, so not making it harder, making it a lot easier, but allowing everybody to have those big scores and their bragging rights and see what happens.
Times 10 is health as well. Screw it.
Easy. Do that. Let's see what happens, man. It might still, like for players like me that just put on auto, probably no change. But for some people that are really competitive, it'll be a big change. And do that, satisfy those people, and then maybe later then do something that'll satisfy everybody to make it a fun fight for some of the ones to throw an auto. Yeah, they could do all that stuff. All right, but definitely whatever they do, Null's coming back next month. 100 more shards, which means that players are getting Null, and he's gonna be a beast. What is gonna happen to the arena meta with Null? Actually, before we go to the arena meta, let's talk about how his character is gonna be released, because he has no epic tag here. He's not an epic character. So do you think he's gonna be a dark promo character or just a normal character because he doesn't have that epic tag?
I think he'll be DPC still. He's got to be, right. He's a special character. Like Black Knight is not epic. He's DPC. Same with Quicksilver. So I think they're just not going to call him epic, because he'll probably be earnable through Battleworld, and then
his release method. Yeah, his release method doesn't make him an epic character. All right. Now let's go back to the arena meta. What is going to happen to the arena meta? Where is he going to fit in? Odin's probably still be in there. Mephisto probably still be in there. Who does Null replace? The one of the Annihilators? Apocalypse? Someone else?
Man, I gotta get in there and I gotta play with it to see how it's gonna be, because he does so much stuff.
This is a log.
Yeah, it's a log.
Actually, now that I see the Carnage and remember his Vantage the Symbiote, Gore is still probably going to be in an arena meta.
So for arena, like I would need to play it because this kid is so crazy, right?
Yeah.
But my first thought is on defense. We probably still have 3 Annihilators with Null and either Odin or Mephisto, just because we want to make sure on the defense side we have no speed bar to the enemy. We have no assists with Gore, Endgame Thanos doing whatever Endgame Thanos does, like anti-trauma, all that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
And then on the offensive side, I think we do drop one of them, and we just bring in the characters that we want. Probably Gore to stop an enemy Odin, and then maybe Gladiator for speed bar, or maybe it's just Gore, and then it's like Odin, Mephisto, Null, and Apocalypse, or something crazy like that, right?
Something like that. That's probably what it's going to be in a month. Yeah, hopefully we get to test this on a play test, and we get all the information out to the community. If not, though, everybody's going to get it on the same day, and we'll have to figure it out together.
Wild Wild West, baby.
I love it. All right. We have a new event coming up. I guess it's going to be next week. And as far as the order of the Starjammers release, it looks like Lilandra Howard's going to be the first character, at least according to these data mines, then Havoc. And according to these data mines, Howard's event is going to be called Origin Story. Earn Howard the Duck Diamonds. So a leaderboard event and Commander Experience Crimson Tech Gear. What it says here, spend campaign energy to earn Origin coins. So some kind of currency. Hopefully it's not like that Valentine's currency, because that was a horrible store. It's a horrible event. Daily free web claims, fantastic rewards. 3 Diamond Howard the Duck, Howard Diamond Orb Fragments. Commander Experience, Crimson Tech Gear. I'm wondering if this Diamond Orb Fragments can be kind of like the Hercules Orbs, where you get some diamonds for that. Strengthen your team by spending Origin coins and any Origin Story Orbs that contain Crimson Gear, Teal Gear, amazing rewards. It could go a lot of different ways with this. Stores, orbs, something similar to the Valentine's Day store. What are you thinking is coming next week based on what you see here in these data mines?
Yeah, so it looks like we're probably going to get a store where we can use the Origin coins, and there'll be an orb tab where we can go open orbs instead, maybe. Looking pretty cool. This is dumping on my theory that we're going to get like a 10-day hiatus, though. So I thought like Lilandra, we're going to be getting the free-to-play unlock on March 4th or 5th, if you're hitting all your crystals and everything like that. So I thought like, okay, that would be when they consider Lilandra getting unlocked. So then is Howard 10 days after that? That's what I was kind of thinking. But if this is already in the data mines, it looks like Howard's coming sooner rather than later. So we're going to have 4-piece Starjammers in the game by next week. That's interesting. I don't think they work, but that's still interesting.
I don't know. Our math might be a little different on Lilandra. I'm thinking maybe later than next week. I'm thinking sometime towards April is when we're getting the Lilandra. So sometime not in March, but I don't know. Our math might be a little different on that.
Fair enough. You might be right. I just remember someone from chat. That.
You might be right. I'm not sure. So we'll have to go back and look at the stuff. But what if this is like the Valentine's Day store where you could get this diamond orb for Howard instead of Old Man Logan? Are you going to be buying this orb? Considering I only was able to buy one of those orbs for Old Man Logan. If you're able to only buy one of these diamond orbs for Howard, are you still going to buy that, or are you going to buy whatever else in the store?
Yeah. So I was under the impression, or I'm still working under the impression that Shadow King's Awakened passive is probably going to be in the next store.
Okay.
Because I got up to like 110 out of the 200 needed to unlock that. If that Awakened ability is in this new store, assuming this is a store, I'll focus on that first. Because I opened the Diamond Old Man Logan and I got like a 1 Diamond Man thing. And I was just like, oh, cool. I wasted all my currency. I could have bought like a couple of Jean Grey shards instead and had actual tangible benefit. Like, the big jackpot orbs, those are really fun when you hit them. Like they're big jackpot orbs. Like, it is what it is, right?
Yeah, I guess I don't think I'm gonna buy the Howard orb. I don't think I'm gonna buy it just because I don't know. I know I'm using Old Man Logan all the time. I don't know what my usage of Howard's gonna be. And And the dropper was so bad, you know, like you said, I could have bought a bunch of different things instead of buying that orb and getting really nothing in return. So I'm probably going to buy other stuff if it is going to be a store. And that's about it for this week on the news. I hope you are in luck finding a Necro sword in that Planet Clintar, Dorky. You sacrifice a lot. It's very dark there. Sacrifice your light. So I hope it pays off for you. And any other final thoughts on Marvel Strike Force, brother?
No, I hope that the good stuff Scopely seems to be heading towards is what they're actually trying to do. Because what is it? In April or June, whenever the Illuminati came, is when we cashed in all the goodwill. So I hope we're going to get more than just a few months of goodwill build up before they dump on us again. I hope Marvel Strike Force keeps doing good.
Well, maybe it was a year of bad will for the 6th year, and then the 7th year will be just totally awesome. You know, just go back and reversing some decisions, make it totally free to play. And actually, I got one more question for you. You started to discuss this a little bit before we started recording. When do you think DC Worlds Collide is going to be released, if it's released? You said there's a little fear that it may not be released globally. When do you think that's going to happen? March, April, sometime later?
Man, the game's ready. The game is ready. It's a hero collector game. Like it's
a lot to do.
It's foolish that it's not already out, right? Because if it comes out in March, then it's competing with an anniversary event from Marvel Strike Force. I think there's another game that also has an anniversary event. I don't know when Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes is. Like when you're competing with these established games and you're waiting till they have a moment, like that's just not good marketing. Like it's just not great. But the game is ready. I'm having so much fun with the game. There's so much content to dive into. They just had a legendary character come out, and his event is amazing. He's got a store where you get extra copies of him for free, a whole campaign, and get this, you like the original Knull fight? He's a new legendary character, and they let you fight a boss version of him where he has interesting mechanics, and there's a leaderboard on how good. Like, it's a really, really cool release.
So totally unlike Lord of the Rings. It's a finished game. It's ready to go.
God, what a miss that was.
Man, if they polished it a little more before. Anyway, Marvel Strike Force, we'll see what happens with it. Hopefully the 7th year is a great year, and hopefully DC gets released very soon, and everything is good in the world. That's what I'm hoping for. And I hope that you got some value from this video. If you did, leave it a like, and make sure you check me out on social media. Make sure you check out Dorky, all of his videos, all of his channels as well. And are you ready for that fist bump, my brother?
I look forward to it every week, my guy.
All right, I will see you guys next time. Have a great rest of your day. Hog fist bump, ValleyFlyin, DorkyDad. See you guys next time.